Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. And after a brief respite that I most desperately needed, I am back on the streaming. So, yes. And 100 episodes. Wow, how did we come so far? Crazy, right? 100 episodes of Trades Talk. Who would have thought of it? When I started out, I didn't think I'd get to 100 episodes, but, it's all the thanks to you guys out there. Whether you've been on the show or whether you've been supporting me in the chat, so many of the fine people I can see right now. And I'll say hello to you right now, David Glenn. Nice to see you. And of course, Angry Canadian. And B17. B17. Are you a Flying Fortress? Because I'm a bit of a World War II buff. And Tits and Ray Guns, my favorite large breed veterinarian, is in the house. Tell us, Pop, where's you got that welder's rack from the... Oh, yeah. Those are my favorite kind of welders. Ones that look like that. Yeah, you might be. Right on, man. Right on. Anyway, yes, you guys noticed my lack of streaming last week. It finally caught up to me. This, if you've ever worked shutdown before, it's long hours, and it just doesn't stop. It's just day after day. You're pretty much living at the plant, trying to get. You're there for you see the people at the plant more than you see your family. So it's pretty crazy with all those hours put in and all the machinery that needs to be rebuilt and gone over. And I'll tell you more about that later. But yeah, let's start out like I so often do. We'll check out some news. You're still a freshman in high school, so you're just here for early advice. Hey, I can provide you with that advice. And in comes everyone's favorite kaiju, Godzillionaire. How you doing, buddy? You got to get the OT to buy those manga box sets. Oh, you know me so well. For those of you that haven't seen on my Discord, I uploaded my latest collectible art book I got, and it is Dragon Quest illustrations by Akira Toriyama from 2016. So that's a keeper for me. That's before they got into all this nonsense of body type 1 and body type 2. I mean, it's male and female, man. Let's get over it. It's male female, all right? Some people try and burn the candle at both ends. Oh, man. It was rough. Working that Saturday just wiped me out. And Sunday I didn't even hop on my PC at all. I just couldn't do it. Have a Discord, throwing yourself in there, give you for 5 seconds. Okay. I don't know if the link is still good. Let me check here. I will check the old Discord-roo here. And how the hell do I do this again? There we go. Try this. There is a Discord link for you. Check that out. The place is called The Shop. Excuse me. And I call it The Shop because that's where all the tradesmen hang out. We hang out at the shop, shoot the breeze, talk about our problems, talk about solutions. And, we just, what do you call that? So form some camaraderie. All right, let's get into it here. There we go. Discord is super exclusive, only the finest of memes. Some say the finest, not me. Some say it. I gotta say, Godzillionaire, you sure do post some good memes, buddy. I really just have a good old time whenever you post those. Just get rid of that, because that's annoying. All right, so what I do first here, usually B17, is I just go through some of the news because you can tell how things are going by seeing what's going on out in industry. Are things being built? Are things being shut down? Is there labor disputes? Are things going well? Let's have a look here. NJ Converters acquires Corner Edge Products. Corner Edge is a Toronto, Ontario-based manufacturer of innovative protective packaging solutions for shipping, handling, and storage. Discord is closed to you, for you are a man of culture. Indeed you are, good sir. Okay, this isn't a very big one at all. Like Champlain Financial Corporation's portfolio company NJ Converters has announced the acquisition of Corner Edge Products. Founded in 1997 by Russell Jacobs and Martin Silver, Corner Edge is a Toronto-based manufacturer of innovative protective packaging solutions for shipping, handling, and storage. Co-founded in 1983 by Jay Cassidy and based in Cobourg, Ontario, NJ produces food contact grade packaging products for the retail, supermarket, food processor markets. Both NJ and Corner Edge's products are sold across North America. That was just an appetizer, that one. Canadian Natural Resources buying Chevron's Alberta assets for $6.5 billion US. Oof. My French Canadian is slipping. How would you know, huh? I eat my poutine 3 times a day. And I can't turn right on a red light, but tabernacle, I can drive right through it. It says Canadian Natural Resources has signed a deal to buy Chevron Canada's interests in the Athabasca Oil Sands project and Duvernay Shale for $6.5 billion US. The all-cash deal will see Calgary headquartered CNRL, one of the largest independent oil and gas producers in the world, acquire Chevron's 20% interest in Athabasca Oil Sands project. Papi Lapieux. Oh, yes, mon chéri. Come with me to the Casbah. This includes a 20% stake in the Muskeg River and Jack Pine mines in northern Alberta, as well as 20% stake in the Scotford Upgrader northeast of Edmonton, and the Quest Carbon Capture and Storage Facility, also north of Edmonton. As a result of the deal, CNRL consolidates in control of the Athabasca Oil Sands project, increasing its working interest from 70% to 90%. Shell Canada owns the remaining 10%. Wow. Their German accent with double sarcasm. Arguably poor corporate financial decisions. We shall see. And yes, normalize pineapple on poutine. There's not a crime. Now go away, or I will taunt you a second time. The transaction adds approximately 62,500 barrels of synthetic crude oil per day to CNRL's production. In a conference call with analysts Monday, CNR President Scott Statz said the Athabasca site's close proximity to CNRL's Horizon Oil Sands mine will allow the company to find efficiencies and optimize its production in the region. I can see us utilizing the equipment more efficiently between the two sites, Stoth said. There will be production increase opportunities in the future at Athabasca. The assets are similar to Horizon in terms of reserve, so you can look for that down the road. Poutine sounds like a sex act. A carbon capture facility? You mean a tree? If they were smart, they would start doing that. Like, get people out there, plant more trees. It's not going to hurt anything. With the deal, US-based Chevron becomes the latest foreign company to exit the Canadian oil sands. Others that have made similar moves in recent years include Norway's Statoil, France's Total SA, and Arkansas-based Murphy Oil. Chevron spokesman Jennifer Werbicki confirmed in an email that the company will no longer have interest in the oil sands following the close of the transaction. Is Alberta still on fire? David, I haven't heard anything. I think fires are done for. We're getting pretty chill up here, so I don't think we're having much fires. I haven't heard anything anyway. You'll get back to having non-meme opinions when you get your econ credit, hopefully at the end of your sophomore year. Then you can actually have a clue what you're saying and and not talk out your rear. Hey, no problem, B17. Tits, you remember Murphy's Oil? Nice. Apparently they're from Arkansas. But so is Bill Clinton, so you gotta watch out. She said Chevron will continue to have non-operated interests offshore Atlantic Canada and will retain its interests in British Columbia and Northern Canada. Canadian Natural will also acquire Chevron's 70% operated working interest in light crude oil and liquid-rich assets in the Dunvernay shale play in Alberta. Production from those assets is expected to average 60,000 barrels a day in 2025, CNRL said. I think that's what BOE/D stands for. I'm not sure. The company is already a large producer of natural gas and light crude oil with a vast land base across Western Canada. Stotts said there are significant new drilling opportunities among the Chevron assets being bought, and added CNRL sees the potential to grow production to 70,000 barrels a day by 2027. Man-made fire season is over. We're into man-made hurricane season. Yeah, I mean, Godzillionaire, I wonder about this. If anyone has heard about HAARP, that's HAARP, just look into it a little bit and see what you think. If Chevron's involved, it'll go tits up. But it's not. They're being bought out. They're being bought out, at least in the Athabasca oil sands. Its ability to optimize production through strategic acquisitions is one reason CNRL has been a darling of the investment community in recent years. Not long ago, RBC Capital Markets analyst Greg Pardy called CNRL his favorite senior producer in a note to clients. Pardy said the company and other oil sands giants are benefiting from the additional export capacity of the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion, which came online earlier this year and have better financial resiliency than ever before. We remain unapologetically bullish on Canada's oil sands majors, in particular, Pardy wrote. CNRL's deal with Chevron has an effective date of September the 1st and is expected to close during the fourth quarter of 2024. CNRL also said Monday it will increase its quarterly dividend to shareholders by 7% to 56 cents per share, starting with its next regular payment in January 2025. Both Chevron and CNRL stock prices were trending higher Monday. CNRL shares were up 3.89% as of midday, while Chevron was up 0.58%. Man-made hurricanes go off Florida, they'll know. Those poor son of a guns, I mean, geez. My heart goes out to the people of Florida. Like, you just went through one, and here comes another. Like, my God. Can't even catch a break. Most Canadian CEOs considering acquisitions in coming years. Yeah. One company buys another company. And that dries up the competition. Doesn't oil have to be $90 a barrel to make oil sands viable? It's not that high, tits. It's actually, from what I heard, it's only got to be about $25 or $30 a barrel. But, excuse me. Because it's not light sweet crude, it's, what else do they call it? There's a special name for it, and it's, so much a barrel. It's way less than light sweet crude. Hey, G, how's it going, man? Stay strong, Florida man. Yep. Your dad works for the NGA, and they send them out for hurricane relief. I don't know what NGA is, B17. Once they start, they can't stop. The startup stop cost makes $90 a barrel unprofitable. Oh. NGA means National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Oh, okay. That's news to me. Mercedes-Benz is partnering with Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network. I mean, yeah, big deal. We can see what they're talking about. The startup will expand startup creation and scouting activities in North America and promote the commercialization of automotive innovation. What does that mean exactly? Mercedes-Benz has announced it's partnering with the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network, the Government of Ontario's flagship initiative for the automotive and mobility sector. The purpose is to expand startup creation and scouting activities to promote the commercialization of automotive innovation. Yeah, okay. What does that mean? The OVIN Incubators program will focus on identifying and fostering innovation in future software and AI future vehicle components. Oh, okay. In future software and AI, future vehicle components, and future electric drive. Working with startups in partnership in OVIN, Mercedes will aim to help progress promising projects through the provision of its specialist expertise and use cases. Selected projects will reportedly also benefit from the international Mercedes-Benz startup Autobahn network. Separately, the company says it intends to start a research collaboration with the University of Waterloo, Ontario, with a focus on neuromorphic computing for automated driving applications. The move aligns with the ongoing Mercedes-Benz R&D activities across Canada. Innovation is part of Mercedes-Benz DNA and it's our global R&D strategy. Open innovation gives us rapid and direct access to the latest ideas and developments across the world, says Markus Schäfer, member of the Board of Management of Mercedes-Benz Group, Chief Technology Officer, Development and Procurement. We are therefore delighted to further expand our activities in Canada as a founding partner of the OVIN Incubators. In a fast-paced environment, it is another important channel for developing exciting future products and elevating our customer experience through new technologies. You hate the word innovation in business? It's just corpo speak? Yes, 100% Godzilla. Yep. Ones that really move the industry forward don't speak in buzzwords. I know, because they have the sense. They don't have to try to sound smart. They just say things that make sense. Never trust the crowds. What you talking about, Tits and Wagons? We have never done anything wrong to you. The academic research collaboration and participation with the OVIN Incubators program are the latest in a series of initiatives underpinned by the company's Memorandum of Understanding with the Government of Canada, signed in 2022. The aim of the MOU is to strengthen cooperation across the electric vehicle value chain through the partnership with the Ontario government. Through OVIN, Mercedes-Benz is accelerating and expanding its presence by tapping into Ontario's international acclaim as a centre for tech development, recognizing the province's significance for Mercedes-Benz Global Innovation Network. Check Pop's closet for Hugo Boss. In its pilot phase, the OVIN Incubators program will conduct startup scouting to identify opportunities in Ontario relevant to Mercedes-Benz fields of research. The aim is to empower startups to engage with industry and establish a robust pipeline of companies whose growth can be catalyzed. Together, OVIN and Mercedes will narrow down an initial long list through a process of evaluation, ultimately arriving at individual projects that will progress to proof of concept based on Mercedes-Benz use cases. Is it just me, or do you guys see, word salad? Like, these guys just throw, words at the page and they're like, these sound good together. Like, they're not even saying anything that makes sense. German fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, maybe we'll give you one more shot. And welcome, DJ Ronnie G. Bet you're off work now, eh? You're here, we can begin. You're right, we can begin, now that DJ Ronnie G has arrived. And B17, if you're still around, we are going to go through, because you're here and you're in sophomore, I'm going to bring up how you can get into the skilled trades and what it's like, and how many there is to choose from. They never put enough ranch on the word salad. True, very true. I do like peppercorn ranch. That's really good. Not word salad, word goulash. It's word Wiener Schnitzel, if you must know. If you're convinced half these articles are written by AI or worse, journalism majors. Gasp. Those guys. What's it say here? Mercedes-Benz and University of Waterloo have signed a MOU to collaborate on research led by Professor Chris Elias Smith in the field of neuromorphic computing. The focus is on the development of algorithms for advanced driving assistance systems. By mimicking the functionality of the human brain, neuromorphic computing could significantly improve AI computation, making it faster and more energy efficient while preserving vehicle range. Safety systems could, for example, detect traffic signs, lanes, and objects much better, even in poor visibility, and react faster. Neuromorphic computing has the potential to reduce the energy required to process data for autonomous driving by 90% compared to current systems. How about just let people drive their vehicles? Stop trying to make AI drive your vehicle for you. So just let humans drive. The thrill of driving the car is one of the great things you can enjoy. Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, whatever. I mean, bring AI up here when it snows and see how well it does. I bet you it just freaking racks up the points of people it runs down. Transformative growth in the name of geological climatologist justice. At this point, maybe let the AI crash into a tree. For $39.9 a month, we'll enable the heat warmers on your seats. Have you guys seen that? I think it is Mercedes that's like, oh, if you want the full potential of your engine, you'll need a subscription. You know what I say to that? I'd say up yours, and I would go buy a car that's 10 years old or 20 years old. You know? What makes you think I should pay you again or a constant subscription to unlock the full potential of my car's engine? You know? Either that or pull the whole engine out and put in your own. Put in a crate engine. Something you don't even need some idiot, corporate guy that thought that up to subscribe to it. You want AI driving? You're getting hammered and let the car get the DUI? Beaters are where it's at. Damn straight, David. Damn straight. Yeah, you can't wait until modders get a hold of these paywall locked cars. Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of time. They're managed, they make all these emulators and stuff like that. I'm sure they could make a little program that would emulate, fool your car. You wouldn't buy a Mercedes unless she's dancing on a pole. Yeah, Mercedes, Destiny, right? All those good ones. Cherry. What do we got here? Atlantic Packaging opens new manufacturing plant in Hamilton, Ontario. Meh. Let's see what we got here. This is from CNBC. So take with it what you will. It was written by Jessica Dickler. Jessica Dickler. And let's see what she's got to say. For Angela Ramirez Rojas, 18, going to college was always plan B. Her grandfather works in construction, and that motivated Ramirez Rojas to follow in his footsteps. I've gone with him to work. He frames houses and really enjoyed being there with him because I look up to him. He's very smart and knows a lot about working with his hands. Ramirez Royas, who is a senior at Riverview High School in Sarasota, Florida, enrolled in her school's recently opened vocational program in construction. The job training was particularly appealing, she said. I want something quick to help me move along, she said. Still, higher education isn't completely off the table, she said. College is a second option for me. I mean, don't waste your time. You're going to go into debt. Dickler? Nah, too easy. That's some low-hanging fruit there, tits. Interest in the skilled trades is rising among teens. 3 years ago, Riverview High School opened its construction academy to help put students like Ramirez Royas on a path to well-paying jobs after graduation, often in lieu of a 4-year degree. This program is not a last chance you, said Aaron Hawley, Riverview's principal. If we have students who are highly motivated, they want to learn the skill, they want to be in the trade, then they get to stay in our community and they get to do a job they love. This program is with the capacity for 20 students in the workshop at a time and only 3 classes offered each year. There's now a waiting list to get in, she said. Of the 120 students who sign up each spring, only 60 ultimately secure spots. I could fill Jeff's classroom twice over, said Hawley. Referring to Jeff Ledinpura, the building trades teacher. It's not only throwing nails and 2x4s, said Ledinpura. Students can get certified in carpentry, plumbing, and electrical work and continue on to pursue various specialties, including construction management, administration, logistics, and transportation, marketing and graphics, or human resources. Construction trades is not just the physical part. There are other parts of it that encompass the whole industry. In addition to providing students with a career-connected pathway available at a lower cost than a 4-year college, Riverview's Construction Academy was also created to help address a local labor shortage, which mirrors what is happening nationwide. Don't throw 2x4s, kids. Yes, don't throw them. The Academy is funded in part by a $50,000 donation from Neal Communities, a private builder based in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. There's a lot of development that's happening right now in our counties, said Katie Alderman, Neal's Community Affairs Coordinator. America needs construction workers. This year, the construction industry would have to attract more than 500,000 workers, more on top of the normal pace of hiring to meet demand for labor, according to a model developed by the Associated Builders and Contractors. Currently, unemployment rate in the industry is 3.2%, well below the national average of 4.2%. The shortage of skilled tradespeople, largely due to experienced workers aging out of the field, is not only boosting the number of job opportunities, but also the pay. In fact, new construction hires earn more than new hires in the professional services, according to payroll services provider ADP. At the end of last year, median pay for new hires in construction was $48,089, up from 5.1% a year earlier. The median pay for new hires in professional services was nearly $10,000 lower at $39,520, up just 2.7% from the year before. This is just the law of supply and demand, said certified financial planner Ted Jenkin, CEO and founder of Oxygen Financial in Atlanta. Yeah, make sure you hit those live chat, guys. Make sure it's not, what the heck do they call it? Top chat. Make sure it's live chat. A little swig of evening tea. Yet somehow, we have an overabundance of influencers. Yeah. They can try. They don't influence me, though. I don't even pay attention to them. You can name an influencer and I'll be like, who? What? I don't know who that is. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Godzilla. With a year's experience, you can double that. Jamie, switch me to all chat. nice to see you by, G. It's been a while. It says here, Gen Z is becoming the tool belt generation. Yeah, I've yet to see anybody from Gen Z or Z show up at my work, so we'll see. Roughly half, 49% of high schoolers now believe a high school degree, trade program, 2-year degree, or other type of enrichment program is the highest level of education needed for their anticipated career path, according to a report by Junior Achievement and Citizens Bank. Even more, 56% believe the real world and on-the-job experience is more beneficial than obtaining a higher education degree. The survey polled 1,000 teenagers between the age of 13 and 18 in July. The college affordability crisis and the rise of alternative career paths together are helping transform Generation Z into the so-called tool belt generation, according to Jenkin, who is also a member of CNBC's Financial Advisor Council. There's an insulting presumption that 4-year college is the gold standard. It's not. It is not. It's not. I mean, let's face it. You come out with a lot of debt, and especially, what are you taking? The arts or a philosophy degree or something like that? Yeah, you just wasted 4 years of your life. Jamie has to be the luckiest producer in internet history. Yeah. Working for Joe Rogan. He's also the laziest. They meant a tool with a belt. There you go, tits. You got her. From 2022 to 2023, enrollment in vocational programs jumped 16%. The National Student Clearinghouse Fund and many of these young adults are benefiting from the secure job track and higher earnings potential these vocational jobs now provide. The delta between white-collar jobs and good blue-collar jobs is not that big anymore. The gap is closing. Notice how they went with a woman, though? A woman on the being interviewed. Not a lot of women go into the trades because they don't want to. They don't want to do the dirty jobs. So let's spend $80K on an art history degree, then work at Applebee's for 20 years. Yeah. What do you do for your living? I'm a server. But I have my degree in art history. You got your DVM, but you worked your way through school. Most can't. So you were like, yeah. You know, Tits, you and I are about the same because I did that as well. I went to trade school and I worked in the evenings. Well, actually, I worked graveyard shift. It was tough. I worked graveyard shift. I'd come home, have a shower, go to school, come home, sleep, and then get up and do it all over again. You think something like philosophy should be combined with biotech degrees and medical degrees so they can avoid a repeat of the oral quandary of 2021? Yeah. Now they just have to buy their integrity, DJ. To be fair, not many men go to teaching or nursing. True. It's almost like the genders have different interests in... Yes, Godzillionaire, you stop making sense over there. You stop that. Should we refer to you as Dr. Tits? You don't want to be rude. There you go. That's the new medical drama on television now. It's not House. Dr. Tits, MD, large breed. What do we got here? Oh, I found this on Autosphere of all places, addressing the labor shortage. You were a circuit vet all through school. Okay. In Canada and certainly Ontario, new car, truck retailers have and continue to face severe shortages when it comes to skilled trades workers. There are simply not enough automotive technicians available to fill the vacancies required. To try and help plug the gap, dealers have been relying on obtaining work through the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, which is funny because if you bring in a temporary foreign worker from a country that, you know, doesn't have cars, or the cars are like 30 years old or 20 years old, how are they going to work on the new cars? This is a program where MVRO, in conjunction with its dealer members, is recruiting skilled, certified automotive service technicians from the Philippines. While programs such as this are helping alleviate the shortage, many vacancies still need to be filled, both in Ontario and in every Canadian province. Dr. Tits DVM coming this fall, starring Sarah Jessica Parker as his trusty horse. That got me. That got me, Godzillionaire. You got me. Oh man, that was beautiful. We have got to make that show happen. Starting a GoFundMe now for Dr. Tits DVM. In 2024, the topic of immigration, especially temporary workers, have become a political hot button, with growing pressure on the government to reduce the intake of people. Through the TFW program. The argument is that Canada is receiving a huge surge in immigration numbers, for which our infrastructure is simply unable to cope with, putting pressure on essential government services such as healthcare and driving up the cost and demand for housing, as well as applying downward pressure on wage growth, negatively impacting the ability of Canadians to find good-paying jobs here at home. Yes, all those things. Yeah, we should at least have Tits riding Kat Denning. Like, come on. The Labor Market Impact Assessment Initiative is designed to ensure that Canadians are given first opportunity to apply for careers in this country, and while MVRO supports the LMIA process and firmly agrees with how it should work during normal times, the issue is that the current labor crisis we face is anything but normal. Once again, guys, I've said this before, and I've probably said this during my, I don't know, maybe 50 or so, 60 times. It's freaking demographics. Any idiot could look at the charts and go, oh, in this year, this giant group of people is going to retire. So we should be ready for this year when all the people that are working now are going to retire. My God, like, I've said it before, pull your head out of your ass, look around, and just look at basic demographics. Like Count Dankula said, you can have a welfare state or open borders, not both. So true, Godzillionaire, so true. Demand continues to severely outpace supply, and the situation results in uncashed paychecks, foregone government and business revenue, and delays in the public receiving fast, efficient, and quality maintenance and repair services for their vehicles. It's one reason why many Ontario's 1,100 new car and truck retailers have depended on temporary foreign worker program as an interim measure. On August 26, 2024, the Government of Canada issued a news release stating that it will continue to monitor labor market conditions and introduce further adjustments to the program as needed in the coming months to ensure that only employers with demonstrable labor market needs have access to the program. This could potentially result in reducing the number of temporary foreign workers in Canada, which could exacerbate an already critical situation around labor shortages in skilled trade professionals. The place where I take my car is just down the road from where I work, so it's nice. I can just drop it off and, catch a ride back in 5 minutes away. He hired a German fella as a mechanic. And so he works on a lot of the foreign cars that people bring in. So it's good for him. Yours stay nice and warm with your head up here. That's why I always tie a string around your neck, so you can always pull it out of there. Labor forecasting isn't the government's strong suit. Not at all. You got that right, Tits. They're not even the ones that are doing the work. They have lackeys for that. Lackeys do the research and tell them what they need to hear, and that's it. For the automotive trades, there is documented evidence on how to show how critical the shortage of automotive technicians is. A recent report by professional services firm M&P demonstrated that Ontario alone is short 3,000 automotive tradespeople. double the number the province faced prior to the pandemic. These statistics also provide indisputable evidence that shows temporary foreign work permit is still necessary for your sector. As a result, MVRO is urging that no changes are made to any labor market impact assessments that will impact Ontario new car and truck retailers. In fact, our sector requires red tape to be cut to save employers and prospective employees time, money, and stress. However, the U.S. thinks they're going to solve the problem with H-1B visas to import trade jobs. All they're going to get is Haitian chiefs, Haitian chefs. Yeah, it's, they're dumb. They don't know what they're doing. MVRO is hopeful that the government will continue to keep the TFW program in place for the automotive retail sector. Additionally, we hope that the government will introduce meaningful changes to make it easier for much-needed skilled automotive technicians to enter Canada and embark upon a life-changing career that contributes to the well-being of local businesses, communities, and the economy. You know, if they made better cars as well, you wouldn't need automotive technicians to work on them all the time. I'm just saying. Anyways, it's picture time. It's picture time. It's you guys' favorite time. So, H-1B visas aren't necessarily bad. It's the ones they're granting amnesty walking across the border. Yes. You know, even up here, I see that on a lot that, man, it's crazy what happens at the southern border for you guys. It's unreal. Man. With EVs, you need training, not just to not kill yourself. Yeah, so true. Yeah. Hey, what's this big thick wire? And done. We need another mechanic, you know. Yes. So I have been working on a lot of fans for heat exchangers. So with those, I'll show you what it looks like here. This is what it's typically looked like for me. Come on now. There we go. So this is like a typical setup. We got the motor to a shiv with a belt, over to another shiv onto another shaft with the two bearings and the fan. No problem, right? Should be easy to change. Not quite. So these things aren't lying flat. They are vertical. So the fan, the cooling fan, and the shaft and the bearings, they're all up against the side of the bracket that holds it, but it's vertical. A lot of fans, there's an OnlyFans joke in it. Yes, I think there is too, a Godzillionaire. Did I ever spend a day only working on fans? Yes, DJ, I did. And I'll get pictures of those and post them. I'll post my fans on OnlyFans. So this looks nice and clean, right? Look at that. Look at that. Nice, clean stainless steel shaft. Looks great. The ones I get, rusted, covered in baked on grease. And there's no way you're sliding the bearings off that shaft. So your best friend is emery cloth. And for those that don't know what emery cloth is, it's just like industrial sandpaper. It's meant for not wood. It's meant for taking down, smoothing out metal shafts and such. So emery cloth, you get it in different grits. Dawn is tough on grease. And I use a degreaser. Either brake clean or some other kind of degreaser that'll cut through it. And you'll use emery cloth, and I'll use like a 150 grit emery cloth. And clean up all the rust. Well, I guess I should get back up a bit. First, I'll loosen off the motor, take the slack out of it, take the belt off, take the shiv off, then clean the shaft with emery cloth up to the bearing. Once I've got that, I'll loosen the set screws that hold the bearing on. Once that's done, I'll take a hammer and start hammering the bearing down because the bearing's ruined, okay? The bearing is coming off because it is ruined. It's wrecked. It's at the end of its life, so it doesn't matter if I hit it with a hammer. As long as I don't damage the shaft. That's exactly the same. You got to be careful. Like I said in my last stream, you have to have some finesse with the tools. And you have to, not damage the shaft. Purple stuff works. There you go, tits. If I send you fan pics, you'll make a safe for work OnlyFans page. Thanks, DJ. These constant speed fans? Yes. Some are. They have soft starters. And I think you can set the speed. It should relate to temperature. So as soon as the temperature, there's also a backup fan beside it. So if we have an A side and a B side. So A runs all the time. B side kicks in when the temperature gets too hot. So if the temperature rises too much, the B side fan kicks in, cools it, brings it back down again. So one runs all the time, the other one doesn't. Yeah, wooden block hammer. I usually use a steel punch, and I make sure to hit the inner race of the bearing. So I'll do that, and you know what? Eventually, it comes sliding off. And then after that, you clean the rest of the shaft with emery cloth up to the second bearing. And when you take that bearing out, you have to let the shaft down, and it will rest on the guard. The fan is usually protected by a guard, so you can let it down and it will rest on the guard. And then you can take the second bearing off. Finesse the shaft. You got it, tits. But buy a dinner first. David's got it. You can tell when your wife isn't close, you suddenly turn into a 12-year-old. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of silly humor, right? Helps you out. I think, anyway. So, yeah. There was... one of these wasn't that large. I think it was only like 1 inch in diameter. But the second one I had to do was like almost 2 inches in diameter. So I needed a floor jack and a block of wood to support the weight of it so I could let it down. So that's how heavy it is. Needed a floor jack, had to keep the weight on it. When I released the second bearing and pulled it away from where it was mounted, yeah, I let it slowly down and it came to a rest, and there we go. Knocked that bearing off. Went and got some new ones. Now what we can do, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with bearings and bearing inserts. Godzillionaire, you probably know what I'm talking about. So bearing inserts. So here is here's your typical pillow block housing with a bearing insert in it. Now I hope this guy does what I think he's going to do, because with bearing inserts, it makes it very easy to change them out. There you go. So he's going to take the ring off. There you go. Yeah, now what they're pointing out right here is that there's two spaces that are going to be the width of the bearing. Okay, so you watch here. You just put any kind of bar in there. You turn the bearing 90 degrees, and then there you go. And then you can remove it. It's just that simple. I've shown you guys pics for the bearing housing. Really? Well, here it is again. So you just take your new one, and you should show it there. It's got the little nub there. I believe that's you want that lined up with that. Otherwise, you'll break it off. Put it in. Get your bar. You should be grabbing his bar. and then you just pop it right in place. And that's easy. Like that's it. That's all there is to it. So once you pop it in place, you can still use the old housing as long as it's not worn too much. If the old housing is worn and the bearing it doesn't like moves around too much inside the housing, how does the grease fitting work with that setup? He lost his bearing. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got me there, Tits. I'm pretty sure that's what that little nub was for, David. And then once you put grease in it, it goes into the space between the housing and goes into there and lubricates the bearing. Because I'm pretty sure he bent that up. Put the bearing in place. And honestly, I would have had it held in a vise. Not a lot of people showing bearing inserts. That's too bad. Maybe I should do my own. Do my own at work. Show you guys that with my own two hands, and put it on YouTube because I think mine would be better. Yeah, that's all there is. Oh well. Anyways, so I had to change a couple of those out, and I actually had to throw out a few of the housings because they were worn, that they wouldn't hold the bearings in place very well. You don't want these things moving. You want them to be like steady and in place. Otherwise, you're going to get premature wear. You know, your bearing will eat it. Only hands? That's okay. I mean, I have to hold the camera somehow. But yes, so I was changing a lot of those this week. And it's nice to have them all changed out now, because we can let them go and we'll just watch over them and make sure they don't, they don't fail. But yeah, guys, 100 episodes. Quite something, I must say. I didn't expect to come this far. A lot of you guys have been around for that too. I mean, I should have went back to like the first episode to see who showed up. But in the chat there, Angry Canadian, he's been a guest on. It was nice having you talk about your time, aircraft technician. We should do that again when I'm not so busy with shutdown and you've got some spare time. Do that again. We'll definitely talk about that. Yeah, as for, I think I forgot to transfer some pictures to my USB drive today. I was just happy to get out of work on time because we are rebuilding our gas compressor and we should have it done tomorrow. So if you guys want to know what a gas compressor looks like, just give me a second here. I will go like this. This. That's not the gas compressor. That's my best waifu. There's the gas compressor. That's the low pressure end. This is from last year, but you know what? Same machine. Everything's the same every year. Take it apart. Measure it. Check the pistons. Check the valves. Check to make sure our clearances are good. And put it all back together. There's the high pressure end. Yes, it's a gas compressor, DJ. This is from 1967. This is a Worthington compressor. This thing is built like a tank. Like, look at the thickness of those covers. That's like 1 inch thick of metal. You know, look at the size of those bolts. That's just to hold the distance piece cover plate on. So this thing is built like a tank. So what you'll notice is the low pressure side has more valves. There's 4 on the top for intake and 4 on the bottom for discharge. And that's because it's low pressure, high volume. Whereas the high pressure end has only 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, but it's high pressure, low volume. So that's how it works. It's got a head like a cap or something. The monster, yeah, tits. Worthington did not go cheap on the metal wall thickness. No, they did not. Like, look at this. This is where the keeper sits for the valve. The valve sits deep down inside here. And that's the thickness of the head there. Like, man. Safer than Ocean Gate Titan. But this one doesn't identify as a submarine. You were 1 when this was built? Yeah, I mean, things were built better back then. Carbon fiber gas compressors. Let's go into business. Yeah. What? It identifies as a gas compressor. Yes, this is where the valves sit. So I got a good view here. There's the piston. This right here is where the valve sits. So it is down in there. Worthington pumps were beasts. Yeah, Godzilla. I'm glad you know of them because they're so old. I don't think anybody knows about them anymore. Oh, there's that's the little workbench they made up for us, the scaffolders. Yeah, and there's you can see them down there, but these are the caps that go on here. Right where these studs are. These studs are sticking up here. Those caps go on there. Look how thick those are. Like, you're hurting yourself. You got to lift them up with 2 hands. There's the inside of the distance piece. This is a packing gland, which has carbon packing in it to keep out. It's got about, like, I think 4 of them. 4 of them stacked together of carbon packing to keep the gases contained. And it gets fed with oil through the top, and then it comes out the bottom. So oil goes in up here and comes out down here. Oil lubrication. There's 2 vents for any gases that may come by. Yeah, and there it is with the cover off. And you can see how thick that is. It's got a little bit of debris, a little bit of sulfur, but not too much. This one's a little more. You can see there's just a bit of sulfuring here. What's carbon? Carbon is the packing we use, DJ. Yeah, it's like a graphite. It's rigid. It's like a graphite carbon packing. You could probably look it up. I mean, where is that? Where's that Brave? There it is. What do they call No, that's not it. They come in 3 pieces. They're cut tangentially, and they're held together by a spring. Ha! Spring packing. Jeez. Yeah, it's not like this at all. This is fiber. I consider this fiber packing, even if it is carbon. But it's hard. It's hard carbon. There we go. So when we pull it apart, we got to take the head off. And I mean, as you can see, we have a come along, or a chain fall actually, hooked up to an overhead rail system. Looks like furnace door insulation. So there's a view of the end there. I believe that's the low pressure piston there. Or we might have taken it out by now. I think we took the rod out. Nope, there it is. Carbon compressor rings. Seems to fit the bill. Yeah, there you go, DJ. There's the rod, and it's screwed in at the back there. So you just count the number of threads. Make sure you thread it in close to that. So you take the LP, the low pressure side, off, take it away and clean it. You leave the high pressure side there. Then you pull the rod out after everything's supported. As you can see, everything gets supported. Oh yeah, and there's where the old valves failed. You ate 4 banana nut muffins this morning. Does that qualify as fiber packing? If I were you, I'd stay close to the bathroom, tits. And sneak up on you. So yeah. Yeah, carbon compressor rings, eh, DJ? Yeah, that's what they look like right there. They got a spring around them. Let's get a better look at it here. Yeah, they're cut into 3 pieces. They're held on. They exactly cut like that, and they have a spring around them to hold them to the shaft. So what you can do is you don't even have to take the shaft out. Sometimes you can just take this spring off, put the rings on the shaft, and put the spring back on, and there you go. Slow down there, Mermaid Man. Evil! Packed until it's unpacked. You got her. But that's what they look like. And there's 4 of them per, what do they call it? 4 of them per gland. Oh yeah, and there's that looks like a high pressure piston. It's got the rider bands there, and then your piston rings. that a better shot of it? Carbon segment rings. Okay. Manufacturer from Mumbai. Yeah, anyway, that is what I'm doing tomorrow. Putting this thing back together, setting the clearances. We won't start it, but we will just spin the shiv manually. I think you might be able to see it. Okay, under this cover back here is the shiv with the belt to the motor. We'll just spin it by hand. Make sure that it sounds okay. We'll also spin it to set the clearances. And then once that's done, it'll all be buttoned up. And yeah, we'll be done with that job and we'll move on to the next task. Because until October the 15th, that's when our proposed startup day is. So the 15th of October, they want to start the plant back up. Well, we'll see how that goes. Sometimes these management types have very lofty expectations. Everyone knows you're fine till that first sip of the morning coffee, then you pull up your handy list and settle in. You know it, buddy. I have to get back into my anime watching, by the way. Yeah, this is really taking its toll here, this shutdown. So, anyway. So, 100 episodes, eh? That's something, all right. I couldn't have done it without all you guys showing up. Why do you feel like October 15th is wishful thinking? You know what's funny about that? The 14th is Canadian Thanksgiving, so I get the Monday off. You know, it's funny he thinks we're gonna start the plant up after a long weekend. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe just the 16th, not the 15th. But we'll see what happens there. We're doing the best we can. We only got two millwrights there, myself and my apprentice. And that's it. You know, and management keeps saying, well, can't we get these other guys to do something? Can't we get these other operators to do stuff? I don't want them to do stuff. They don't know how to do things properly. You always enjoy tuning into Mike Rowe Light. Nah, thanks, AC. Yeah. I wouldn't mind meeting him in person. It would be pretty fun, I think, talk to Mike Rowe. He'd be good. I really want to expand from what I'm doing now with just, I mean, most part it's just me yapping it up here on this end. Trying to be entertaining, but I want to get some more guests on here. I want to get more tradesmen on here and talk to them. And it's on me. It's all on me. I can't blame anybody but myself. I've got to get out there and start talking to people and be like, hey, you want to come on? Hey, you want to come on? It's just a matter of finding people that are in the trades out there. I guess it's on me just to put the word out. That's all. So I want to do that. I want to have more guests on. I want to talk to them more and learn more about their journey to be in the trades. Sometimes some of them turn out to be very inspiring. Tits, your money's on the 27th. And this one's the 27th. That's a Sunday, man. I'm not gonna. I mean, well, I have to go in. If they ask me to come in on the Sunday, it's like, well, okay. It's your money. So you always want to have a maintenance guy there when things start up. Let me see here. What's going on? I'm just going to check something here. My channel. I want to check. And that's going to take way too long to check. I was just going to see if what we got for old Trades Talk videos, but that's okay. So, going forward, you know a guy that used to work at an injection molding facility. Okay, injection molding is pretty neat. Did he used to work on the equipment, though? I bet you it would be have some good stories about taking care of injection molding machines. Those things can be probably pretty temperamental. Yeah, you see, I did enjoy our chat as well. Like I said, I'm gonna have you on again. Maybe when you and I are not so well. Right now, I'm busy, and I'm not sure how your schedule is, but I have you on again. We can talk some more. And yeah, I've got to put the word out. Just hey, looking for guests. If you're in the skilled trades, please contact me. Blah 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 blah. And we can just have a good old time. Speaking of having a good old time, coming up on October the 25th, which is Friday, I will be on the RNG Gaming Podcast with Karl. And we will be talking about some pretty good stuff video game related. So, guys, get ready for that. Get ready for... You should go back and watch the first video when I was full of hope. Oh, man. I don't know if I could stand myself watching myself when I was just starting Trades Talk. Yeah, to me, it's kind of like my first video I did, which was Archie was related to Batman. Honestly, I feel like a redo of that should be on the books here. So I've definitely come a long way in my streaming career and how I do things. Not so nervous anymore, not so just winging it. Just winging it. Everything's a little more practiced, a little more okay. Where is it here? Trades. My first Trades Talk. My first Trades Talk was October the 11th, 2022. And it was 58 minutes long. Just a winging it. Yeah, you got her, David. Just winging it. And I had 16 views on it. So yeah, that was my first one. So you can tune into that. It was yeah. It was all right. Yeah, if I watch, I'd feel so cringe watching that again. Ugh. Anyway. Yes, I couldn't have done it without all you guys tuning in, People like David Glenn, AC, Godzillionaire, DJ Ronnie G, Tits of Ray Guns, even Gemineer coming by. It's always nice to see old familiar faces. And even new people coming by, like the one guy today, D17. Guy's in high school, sophomore, wants to hear about the trades. Hey, you've come to the right place. And there's Alex Moore, another familiar face. Cheers to you, the working man, Alex Moore. He's always working nights. And I like to hear his good work stories as well. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I had to fire the new guy. Yeah. New guy started, fired him. I am hoping for bigger and better stuff to come, you know, for the next 100 episodes of Trades Talk. I'm going to keep yapping into the wind here until people, you know, realize we need this people in the skilled trades. Hopefully trying to influence some people to go and have a, you know, either change your career, or when you're young and starting out, consider it. Just consider taking a career in the trades. It's very important. You know, you're going to learn a lifelong skill. You're going to be very employable, and you're going to be earning very good money and doing something that hopefully you really like to do. Don't do stuff you don't like to do. Make sure you find that out right away. If you're an electrician and you're scared of electricity, or you don't like electricity, don't do that. Do something else. Be a carpenter. You know, be a welder. Get into low voltage stuff like instrument tech. You know, be a fabricator. All sorts of things. Work on cars. Be a heavy equipment operator. You know, driving those big machines, that's, oh. I love hopping in a loader and driving the loader. It's fun stuff. Anyways, I think you guys have heard me amble on for long enough. Once again, I thank you, everyone. You know, you've made me one happy pop. All of you guys. Just give yourselves a pat on the back there. You guys are the true troopers coming by. You could just do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about me, spread the word. Let them know, hey, there's this guy. He talks about the trades. He shows pictures and videos on every Tuesday. You know, if you're interested, pop in, have a chat. Thanks for the trophy, AC. So there's other good channels out there too, people I personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414. It's always good to tune in and watch Mike, Baron, and Cash as they do their thing. There's our own DJ Ronnie G, who's in the chat. If you like tech, turtles, and astronomy, you should listen to DJ Ronnie G. Tune into him. You could listen to me ramble on for up to 18.5% longer. That's very specific. Oh, David. There's also Brandon the Anime Guy. It's always fun to tune into Brandon's streams. I like watching him talk about anime. He's got a good show. There's Carl at the RNG podcast. Tomby, the bloke from across the water there in Britain. This guy, he's got some good stuff, and he also helps spotlight small creators. There's Angry Canadian. You can watch him do some angry shipyards when he builds Lego. He's also our lifeline to Japan. There's Nerdporeal Lifeform. And there's don't forget Punkwall, everyone's favorite penguin. You can find him at Floral from Under a Rock, on Snowdub's channel. And he has his own channel where he posts his ponderances every Saturday. You too can have deep thoughts with Punkwaddle. David Glenn also produces content, including the content of battery packs. Right on. And don't forget our friends that are on hiatus right now. Woopa Troopa and Blaine. Hopefully Blaine will be coming back in 2025. We can hang out with him again. I am also going to eat at his food stall. I want to try out his Yakimono Yatai. Oh, and there's this one fella on Twitch I've been watching called Infinite Metal. Very entertaining fella. He plays retro games and indie games, and he also has a pet dragon called Skelly. He does the voice for him, so it's pretty damn hilarious. If you haven't checked out Infinite Metal on Twitch, just give him a holler. Tell him Pop recommended you. All right, everybody. Today, coming up Saturday, Retro Game Day. If I'm not working, I will be playing some brain games, puzzle games, all sorts of games to work your brain out. Whether it's crosswords, anagrams, or figuring out how to make machines work, I will be playing it. Sunday, Anime Chat Day. I missed last Sunday, and I still don't have a theme for the month. I'm going to come up with something. You guys will just have to tune in and see what it is. I'll come up with something. I always do. Yeah, DJ, yep. Infinite Metal is on Twitch. I'm on Twitch, though. I broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. I try to have all my bases covered. So, try to get myself out there on all the platforms. Although YouTube seems to me where my biggest audience is. But oh well, that happens that way. No big deal. We'll just keep plugging away. You'll put it in a note until you get on your desk. Okay, no problem, DJ. Appreciate that. Yes, and you wonder what Floral has brewing tomorrow. Good old Floral, yeah. I do enjoy Floral, Mrs. Flu, and Punkwaddle when they're doing the under Floral from Under a Rock show. It's very enjoyable. Anyways, I think that's it for me for tonight, everyone. Once again, thank you all for 100 episodes. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves every time you stop by. I hope I have something to share with you, or something that you may be like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, and you can always bring your trades questions to me. Ask me trades questions. I'll do my very best to answer them. Obviously, things are out of the scope of my knowledge, getting into electrical and stuff like that. But if it's mechanical, usually I can answer your question. But yeah, I am definitely open for answering some questions. Well, all right, everyone. It's been fun. I've had fun. I hope you have had fun. And I hope to see you on Saturday. As long as I'm not working, I will see you on Saturday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.